Hey YouTubers, I promised that I would put up a tutorial on how to split the cases on an FJ motor. I have one here out of my Project 92 that I'll use to point out certain bits. I also have all the tools you will need, and I've got my Bible, and I will go through some of the things. It actually sets it out really well. If you don't have an FJ manual, get one. We'll go through this step by step and we'll see how we go. Okay, so you will need 2 bits of cardboard. The bolts on the motor are all numbered. Bit hard to see, but they are actually all numbered. So when you take them out, I drew these in approximately the same position that the bolts are in the motor, and you just put the bolts in the number corresponding. The tools you'll need. These are really handy because there's some spots where you just can't get a normal Allen key into. You'll need your usual metric spanners. You'll need a pair of circlip pliers. There is one circlip that needs removing. You'll also need some torque torque spanners, I don't know what to call them. There is one torque screw fair in the middle of the motor that you will need these for. You also need a decent tension wrench. I've got a King Chrome one. And to make life really easy for pulling the bolts out, a impact drill. Certainly makes life a lot easier. You will need your Bible. Almost impossible to do without this because it gives you your torque settings for the bolts. The M8 bolts in here are 24 Newton meters or 17 pound. Depending on whether it's an 1100 motor or a 1200 motor, 2 slightly different torque settings for the M6 bolts. Either 10 Newton meters or 7.2 pound or 12 Newton meters. In the book it actually really well sets out the steps you need to do to pull the motor apart, and then it also sets out how to pull out the starter clutch. First things first, you need to pull your alternator and your starter motor and your fuel filter off, oil filter, sorry. You also need to come around this side. You'll need to pull that cap off. You need to pull your clutch cover off, and your clutch needs to come out, as well as the pickup cover needs to come off as well, and the pickups. Externally, that's everything you have to pull off the motor. So once you've pulled your clutch out and your alternator and starter motor and got all those bits out, what you need to do is turn the motor upside down and remove the sump. Now have lots of towels handy because it doesn't matter how well you think you've drained the oil out of the motor, there's still oil in it. Now remove the sump, all the Allen keys. There is also a screw fair in the middle, don't forget to pull it out. If you have to force it, there's still something attached. It should come off very easily. You've also got your oil pickup, oil level pickup just there. Pull that off. In there you'll need to remove the oil pickup and the return valve. They just pop out basically, and that will then give you a flat surface to work with, so your motor won't rock around while you're trying to pull all the bolts out. Stop. Once you've got the sump removed and it's sitting nice and flat, inside here you need to remove the oil pump, and which crosses the 2 halves. It is also easier if you remove the splash plate on the bottom of the clutch housing. It is in here that you need the torque spanner. That's where your torque bolt is. Once you've removed all that, then you can start removing all the bolts from the top of the motor. Once they are removed, I roll the motor over so it is sump side facing up and remove all the bolts from the bottom side. When you have done this, the motor should come apart in two nice easy halves. The gearbox cluster should be in the bottom half. You can then get to the starter pickup, or if you only want to replace the second gear, like they have issues with in the 1100 motor, you can do that. The actual starter clutch is right here, fair in the middle of the motor. So this picture is of the underside of the FJ motor with the sump removed, and you can see the sump pickup fair in the middle of the picture there. This picture is of the clutch side of the motor with the red arrow showing where the starter clutch is behind the main case of the engine. In the centre there you can see the bit with the 3 screws. They are the torque screws. That has to be removed. And on the bottom right hand side of the picture is where the oil pump is. That has to come out, as there is a bolt underneath that has to be removed to split the cases. This one, even though it's a little bit bright, is with the 2 cases split in half. The bottom half there is on the bottom right hand side of the picture, with the top half of the motor and the top half of the screen. The bottom half is pretty much empty, as the gear cluster stayed in the top half. They can just be lifted out and moved to the bottom half. This is the view of the top half of the engine case, with the red arrow pointing to where the starter clutch is. There is a shaft that can be removed, which then allows you to remove the entire starter clutch. It comes out in a big bundle, and then once you have that out, you can replace the fingers, for lack of a better word, that have been doing all the slipping and causing all the issue. This new screen for the oil pickup, and the second picture shows you the fingers that actually need replacing in the starter clutch. They are not very big and it's a lot of hassle to get to them, but it's worth doing. Let's go. I hope you found this all very informative. I will post a link in the description below of the RPM site. They sell a complete kit of everything you will need to split the cases. It comes with the replacement bits for the starter clutch. Also gives you an option if you want to upgrade to the XJR starter clutch, and it gives you all of the O-rings and gaskets you will need to complete this job. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe.